guys, Nick here. You're listening to the official podcast of 4PlayerNetwork.com, a weekly live show about video games. We're proud to say that we've been at this since 2008 and have remained 100% independent since day one, and that means you'll never have to hear a sponsored ad on this show. So if you want to support what we do, all we ask is that you consider making our silly little show part of your weekly rotation. You can tune in when we record these episodes live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/4playerpodcast, all spelled out. If that's not your thing, though, you can also subscribe to the show on your preferred podcast service, join our community Discord at discord.gg/4player, or, if you're so inclined, send us a couple bucks a month on Patreon. And that's it for shameless self-promotion. Time to talk about the latest and greatest in the world of video games. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 880. I think you got the podcast number wrong, Chris Davis. It's 884.
It is 884.
You wrote 882 in the live stream. I'm just whatever.
Oh, I didn't update the number. Then. Okay.
We never.
Who actually gives a shit?
Oh, this is the podcast.
It is August 13th, 2026. It's actually been a couple weeks since we've recorded a show. Because last week we ended up streaming Big Walk together, which we will be talking about probably extensively on this podcast.
But first, we need to mention Dream Scenario, which I think is an underrated Nicolas Cage movie.
Wonderful segue.
That movie was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was good.
The girl that like takes him home from the bar to like relive.
Yeah,
no,
dude, Dream Scenario kicks.
Yeah, that movie's fucking. Oh my god!
I never saw that. I
never heard of
that. The way that entire situation just folds in on itself at the end into just like, oh yeah, in real life that is what happened. Capital would subsume it, and it would just be this another note in the mundane background noise of our lives. Like it. Oh god! I just want
everybody to know that on the stream last week, while we were all hanging out having the time of our lives playing Big Walk, somebody, I think it was Brad, was like, hey, yo, when are we going to do that thing where we come to your house and watch Mulholland Drive, which we talked about on the very last podcast we recorded.
How about this week?
I sent a message about it, and it went...
When did you send the message?
The day after our last Big Walk stream. Actually, the night of our last Big Walk stream. It says, yo, when do y'all want to do this?
Nobody
said anything.
I think we were like maybe next weekend or something.
Next weekend. As in
I'm just saying.
Weekend,
I'm just
right?
putting unnecessary pressure on you guys, but that is still a thing that's
going
to
to
happen.
We're going to post a date, and it's going to be a good date, and we're going to do it. And Nick, you're going to love that movie. It's going to be your new favorite movie. You're going to become a total Lynch head.
New favorite movie.
It will be.
I have a feeling
unless we have time to watch it twice, that's
he'll be like,
impossible.
oh my god, that part with the witch was terrifying. Like, yeah, it's.
I feel like that part's been spoiled for me already, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like that movie's so much more than that.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Wait.
I don't think
lesbian sex in this movie, according to Ashes
Mulholland
Drive.
Mulholland Drive has never become someone's favorite movie after a first viewing.
A single viewing. Yeah.
A single viewing. It's impossible.
Right. It'll be a movie you hate but think about nothing else for months.
Here's an idea. Here's an idea. Why don't we do this? Y'all come over and we'll watch Mulholland Drive, and then we go out and record a dinner time podcast and talk about it.
Dude, you know what? There's a few cool restaurants up by you that I never get to go to.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Chris Davis, I don't know if you were here for this conversation.
No, I wasn't.
How much you care about Mulholland
I don't know
Drive,
if I want his energy in that room. But we gotta watch a different movie if Chris Davis is
That's
coming over.
Great.
Wait. Does that have anything to do with the? Does that have anything to do? Because like Ashes in the Hourglass in chat was like the boys congregating together to watch lesbian sex scenes. Does that have anything to do with that and not wanting Chris Davis?
No.
Energy in the room with that.
The man thinks From Software can't tell a story. I just don't like that energy.
I mean, that's correct.
Tyranny.
But
the tyranny.
like I'm saying, like you might come out of like. I know what the Nick experience is going to be like with Mulholland Drive, and I'm fine with that. I don't know what it's going to be like with Chris Davis, and I'm uncomfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Davis is certainly not going to enjoy himself.
No, I've never seen
Chris Davis.
What is a David Lynch movie you've seen?
Yeah, he's never
David.
He's about to Google David Lynch.
I mean, didn't he do Alien 3?
It's over.
I didn't
Alien
watch
3.
I watched some of Alien 3.
No, that's Fincher. That's Fincher.
Oh, David Fincher. Okay,
No,
sorry.
David-
Well, you see
David
how I
Lynch
got
is-
those confused for a
Twin
second, right?
Peaks, no, they're very
Dude, could you
different.
imagine David Lynch's Fight Club? Oh my god.
That would be something.
Oh man. I don't think I've seen.
Hmm.
I don't think I've seen any of his movies. Then
I've never seen a single David Lynch film.
Wow! Yes! Yes,
about
you gotta
Twin
come!
Peaks?
You gotta come! Oh, yeah, Twin Peaks? Not even the 1984 Dune movie?
oh, I watched the. You're right. Okay, I have seen the 1984.
I
Dune
mean,
movie.
that is like the
fucking hate it.
least David Lynch
Yeah.
movie you can watch.
Yeah.
He
I've seen
doesn't
like the
that movie.
first
He
4 or 5
disavows it.
episodes.
But if you know Dune, and you like, or you've seen like maybe the new movies or something, and you like can pick out the changes that David Lynch made to the story, how he chose to tell that story. Guy's a fucking weirdo, man. Like he made a weird story weirder. Like that's great.
Somehow.
Like that's
I did
great.
watch like half of the first season of Twin Peaks.
Of like the original
Yeah.
run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You watched half the first season.
I don't
that's
know
weird.
how. I don't know how
That's weird.
I don't know what happened that cut that
What-
viewing
Did
experience
someone
off.
do that to you, or like?
That's weird.
No, I don't know I don't remember what happened.
Well, I mean, you were probably playing Deadly Premonition or something. It was like, you know what? I should check out Twin Peaks.
I watched like 5 episodes of Twin Peaks, and it was okay, but I wasn't getting into it.
He's only ever.
But,
See,
like,
that's the energy. That's the
I don't
energy
thi- I
right
don't think-
there.
Yeah,
that
like no
Brad's
one's ever
talking about.
described Twin Peaks as okay. Like that.
Okay, just for the record, I
No,
did
no,
not
someone
describe it
who's
at
only
all.
seen it once maybe would describe it that way. Because like they're not, dude. Like
I don't
some
think
of
that's
this
it.
stuff you just
I think you
need a
bounce
couple,
off and you're like, what the fuck is this?
No,
Or
some
you
of
like
these
are
you just
obsessed
need
with
a
it.
couple hits. Like some of these you watch. Like the first time I watched the first episode of Twin Peaks, I was like, I don't know, this seems weirdly melodramatic, and I thought that was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
flaw.
Yeah.
It took another go to be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is part of the
Yeah.
vibe here. This is part of the
It's
artistic
immediately
intent.
weird though. Like that vibe is
It is
immediately
weird,
strange.
but if you come to it late, you might be more inclined to chalk that weirdness up to just like, I guess this is what TV in the '90s was like
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's
like,
fine. So you bounce off. You don't go, oh, it was solid. Twin Peaks is solid.
I'm now 3
Just
seasons
weird.
into X-Files.
All right, Chris Davis,
For
you're
the
coming
first time.
over. I'm inviting you to Nick's house.
Dude, 3 seasons. Hang on, 3 seasons of X-Files for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, Nick. I want to talk about that with you when you're done.
Okay.
That's
Done with
really
what?
fun.
This podcast about video games?
No.
Yeah,
About
this is a podcast
about
about
the
it.
X-Files. I want to know what he thinks about the Mythomere, about the
Okay.
overarching plot of the X-Files.
Why are
Yeah,
you
definitely haven't gotten to the overarching
The
plot yet.
smoking man.
Why are you watching
The
the
Cancer
X-Files?
Man.
I'm just asking.
Why
You
am
gotta
I
watch the
watching the
movies.
X-Files?
You gotta watch Fight the
mean,
Future.
The reason I'm watching, I'm going to watch the movies. The reason I'm watching the X-Files right now is primarily because we re-upped our Hulu subscription because we're kind of like alternating our streaming services right now. And it's been on my watch list on Hulu for like ever. And I was
Okay.
just looking for a show to watch one day, and I was like, maybe it's time. Maybe it's just time. I was looking for something vibey and creepy, and for whatever reason, the memories I have of the X-Files, of the very little I had seen prior to this, was like it was really creepy. And I don't think I've watched a single episode yet that has legitimately creeped me out.
No, it's not going to do that anymore.
Most of it's like kind of whatever, goofy, weird.
Yeah.
Like,
Neat.
okay, Fox in the '90s. I get it. But
I don't know
every
how
once
the
in a
show
while,
goes.
no, every once in a while they'll hit you with one that like
They do.
Dude, my dad loved that show. I grew up like was putting it on
Don't get
Sunday
me wrong,
nights.
there are great episodes.
Was putting it on at ages where I shouldn't have been watching it. I saw things on that show that I was maybe not ready for that are still bouncing around up here to this day. Like, there's some fucking creepy episodes, man. It's great.
There's some good shit.
It's
that
a
first
good
season,
show.
that first season was a little rough. But
you were a
it's-
yeah,
kid
it's- the whole
back then.
thing's a
That's
little
probably
rough.
are scared by
Yeah.
it.
I think the thing that's bothering me the most as an adult watching this is that like, because obviously the whole shtick of the show is one of them believes and one of them is a skeptic, and that's kind of their chemistry, right? And that's what
Yeah.
makes it interesting. But like the approach in every episode is this crazy fucking thing happened. They show up. Some person in the town where they show up tells them what the fuck is going on, and the first thing out of Mulder's mouth is always the most crazy, ludicrous theory. And it's like he has no, like, he can't
moderation
tell that,
to his.
He's like he just like says the craziest thing he can think of, and then he acts surprised when people are like, "Bro, you fucking out of your mind."
Yeah, but have you got? I don't remember how far they start getting into this. But have you gotten far enough into the show to really understand why Mulder is the way he is?
I mean,
like, have they gotten into his backstory
about his sister?
Yeah, like how much of that have they delved into?
It kind of ebbs and flows, or like it comes up, and when it comes up, it's like for like 2 or 3 episodes, like it's a big deal, and then it goes away again. By the end of
this show, you're gonna be like, Mulder is a schizophrenic, and like, good for him for keeping it together as well as he has. Like,
sweet. Like, I am actually really, really excited about when I go from season 8 to 9. I think from 9 to 10, dude, because then it literally goes from like 2005 or something to like that episode aired in like 2017 or something.
Oh, the fucking the jump.
Yeah,
when the new season. Yeah,
I
don't even know I don't know anything about that.
So fascinated by the whole idea of that even if it's not good, I just want to see it. Anyways, we don't need to talk about the X-Files.
Wait, can you give us 30 seconds? 30 seconds on Spider-Man. Nick Funky Duck's asking.
Spider-Man.
30 seconds on Brand New Day.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh my God, what's that? Jean Grey. It's Sadie Sink Jean Grey.
Stop it.
I mean,
stop it.
Okay, look.
I'll take that as a no.
No, I mean, is that not a?
Just talk about the movie.
I mean, I didn't know about it. Thanks.
What? I mean,
yeah, Jean Grey.
No one here has seen that movie, and some of us don't watch like the 24/7 Marvel news network like y'all do.
I don't watch. You make it sound like I like literally the moment that movie aired, I could not get away from seeing like interviews and like every fucking talk show where they're just like,
did you like
talking about things that you would think are like secret, like, you know what I mean? It's just whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Did you like the movie?
Yeah, no, movie's great.
Great. It's great.
Yeah, Brett. I mean,
has Crispy seen it?
I'm talking to two people here who just
shut up. What are you talking
already
about?
I haven't seen this.
Maybe it's the best movie you'll ever see, Crispy.
I said, really?
Look. They delivered on the things that I wanted really badly in this movie. Like, I was worried. My biggest concern going into it is that they were going to, like, the whole thing about the Punisher being a part of it. He was going to be like an in and out cameo, and it wasn't. He's a major part of the movie. He's in a lot of the movie, and that shit's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And
is it like a continuation of like other shit from like television or whatever?
It's a direct. Like,
I know nothing of that character on any of his TV appearances.
You mean the Punisher?
The Punisher. So I'm saying like is him showing up in the Spider-Man movie when I inevitably see it? Am I going to be like lost, or are they kind of like rebooting that character for the film?
No, it's the same character. All the Netflix stuff actually happened, but like it doesn't have much.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't have much impact or on anything happening in Spider-Man. Because like by the time you get to Spider-Man, everything that happened in the Punisher series and that special they just released is like, that's kind of it's they've wrapped it up.
He has his own standalone presence in the story without having. I don't need to give a shit about that, right? For me to enjoy the Punisher. In this movie.
You know the basics of the Punisher, then that's all you really need to know. In fact, like one of like the running jokes in the movie is about them constantly referencing a thing that happened that was never on screen ever. Like no one's ever. It's not in any movie. It's not in any TV show. They just keep talking about this thing.
Okay,
they're doing the Budapest thing again.
Yeah, and so like it doesn't matter. But like the character, and I was also worried they were going to water him down, for obvious reasons, because those shows are super violent. And while this movie isn't outright as violent as The Punisher, like he cusses up a fucking storm in this movie. Like they let him cuss like all the way up to the point where it's like we got to cut him off because it's not an R-rated movie. But like he still has like the vibe and the attitude and everything. It's great. He kind of steals the show if you ask me. But also the Spider-Man stuff was also really good. The continuation, like the whole thing of
dudes.
I mean, it's the Punisher.
Okay, I don't
what
know.
he does.
I've never seen the show. All I know is the gift. The no.
I do highly recommend the show. I loved the show.
Right.
But whatever. We're going down rabbit holes here. Yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day, pretty good, and everybody's kind of there are some good things that I won't spoil, but people are kind of losing their mind about. Anyways, go see it. I would like to hear what y'all think of it, considering y'all were not fans of No Way Home or anything like that. So
yeah, apparently me and Crispy are the only not fans of that or something.
I mean, I just saying I've never talked to anybody who was like, "Me, that movie sucked." I just you're the first one. I didn't know it existed.
It sucked.
I didn't say it sucked.
Yeah.
I just I think it was
sometimes
my favorite of those.
Didn't really.
Okay.
It got a
Didn't feel
little
earned. Didn't really like.
multiversy.
It felt like they opened their checkbooks instead of their imaginations.
Yeah.
And like, what if we just hired a bunch of people who've been in Spider-Man movies before? That could be a movie, right?
But it was like you're right.
I mean, I
like,
guess. I don't know.
But seeing it on screen was really exciting. It was really exciting. Whatever.
It
We
was
don't need to talk
during
about this anymore.
COVID. I judged people who were getting excited about that movie. There was like bigger shit to deal with in the world. I'm sorry.
Dude,
that
there's
was
still
rude.
bigger shit to deal with.
I just know
Here
a lot of people
are.
were like, "We're going back to the movie theater," and I'm like, "Bro, it's still 2020. What are y'all doing?"
Even heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Hey man, I flew to New York City a month before my wedding in the height of COVID to go to the Dexter premiere. And
Whatever, but that's more
Thank
special
you.
than going to see a Spider-Man movie.
that
in
is
the
true.
movie.
That is true.
I also don't like that Doctor Strange talks like a sarcastic bitch in these movies.
I've never
Okay,
seen
guys,
a Doctor Strange
I'm
movie,
reining this in.
and I hate him.
I'm reining this in. We haven't talked about a single video game on this video game podcast.
Okay.
We're exercising a lot of the stuff that we didn't get to say over the last 2 weeks. So, guys, let's.
I think I just hate Benedict Cumberbatch.
I don't know. I think he's fine, and I love the character, but like I don't know, like he's supposed to be. I don't know. I don't know. He's supposed to be like Dr. Orpheus in the Venture Brothers, but I guess that would be stupid if everybody else is taking this shit seriously.
You were raining on the podcast there, Nick?
I
To be
was
fair,
trying.
Outside of
We're
Big
going.
Walk,
We're
let's talk about Big Walk.
Let's talk about Big Walk. Last week we
took a big walk.
We took a big walk together, all for 6 of us, not including Chris Davis. So you can also skip really far ahead in this.
Who loves House
So
Mouse?
yeah, this is gonna look this footage you're watching on screen if you're watching us live on twitch.tv/4player
It's going to look
podcast
bad.
It's gonna look kind of bad because we had to zoom it in a little bit to kind of crop me out. Oh, this puzzle. I love this puzzle. I'm just kidding. I hated this puzzle. Anyways, we got together last week, 6 of us. Nolan and Ed were also and Carlos were also with us. And this I think a lot of us were kind of under the assumption when this game released and kind of like the wave of it had like this like the reviews and like the hype and like the discourse around this game as it came out was very much kind of it made me think of like when a new friend slap game comes out, everyone's like raving.
I want to jump in
think,
here and say like that's absolutely not what I was expecting or thinking about this game, because I think when they finally like revealed this game and showed like what it was going like the reveal of this game, what I think was at a SGF, and coming out of that SGF, not last year but I think the year before, I was like, that was the coolest thing I saw at the show. And I was not thinking about friend slap. I was thinking about cool cooperative puzzle design.
I mean, I was
not
mostly
what you do.
Look, I'm mostly alluding to the way
on the
hype
surface
train started as soon as the game launched. Like reviews hit, it started getting massive conversation and reviews. It was reviewing very, very well.
Do you know why this? But
a lot of people
compared to friend slap. It's because the characters look low effort in a way that like friend slap characters are designed.
But like nothing
Even
else.
though,
it's not just that. It's not just that. It's also just like kind of the immersiveness of like of like the little systems and bugs that have nothing to do with like solving problems, like the little like toys and shit that you can play with each other, like the way you can like kind of grief each other, the way that there's like maybe too many people for the job you're trying to do, like there's so much of this that isn't just a straight puzzle game, that's just like a toy to play around with your friends. Like, why would they make it so that you could just like pick somebody up and throw them, like if it wasn't kind of also doing that friend slap thing?
I think also the proximity chat element of it is just something that I tend to associate with friend slap. But like, what was immediately apparent about this game once we actually ventured out into the world and started doing things together, was that like I was thinking back to when we played what's the space game that we played, the friend slap game, where we basically didn't make any progress whatsoever with
Which
like
one? Lethal Company?
Yes, Lethal Company.
Lethal Company.
Like we streamed it like 2 or 3 times, and we basically restarted the game every time. And we did this. We were in the same kind of area, doing the same thing over and over again. And
it's
like
just Lethal Company.
I
mean,
like,
that's just friend slap games. They're very replayable.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was expecting this to be. But it became immediately apparent that like, no, once you go out into the world, it starts to feel like something much more similar to like The Witness. But like in a group setting, which is
the fact that it has
Myst would be a great example. It's just like it creates this sense of camaraderie in such an amazing way,
which like Peak does that too, right? You know, I think
it has a set challenge to be overcome, and then once you overcome it, that's the game. Like,
when did Peak come out? I feel like there were friend slap games have been around for a long time, right? Like Phasmophobia and like Lethal Company and stuff.
Portal 2.
But okay, stop it.
Yeah, we're now calling Portal 2
But
friend
then
slap,
Big Walk is announced by like, from the people who made Untitled Goose Game. I feel like when they first announced the game, it seemed like kind of unique and special. And I think then like games like Peak come along, I think they're like, let's take a little bit of that. Like there, a lot of these developers will admit to the fact that they're kind of just throwing these games together pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
They sell them for cheap. The assets are kind of iffy, right? But I think Big Walk was in development long enough that like some of that stuff got like I think stolen by the people who were throwing together friend slap games over the past few years.
It's possible.
Like the vibe, the look, like the fact that you can just kick your binoculars into the ocean and stuff. I think Big Walk was still doing some of that stuff first. The game was just not out yet. I don't know, right?
It's possible, but I don't know that we'll ever know the truth of it.
Yeah.
I mean, guess.
I've seen shit like this.
But like the difference lies in like, because we use the term friend slap because I think that's kind of been universally like picked up throughout the industry, but like it also sounds kind of derogatory. And I don't want it to be derogatory. But like when you think about it, like the things that make those games endlessly playable and fun and quote unquote friend slap is that they've introduced elements, toys, ways of communicating that even if you're not making any progress on anything whatsoever, the act of interacting with the world creates like hilarious moments, and those moments make the experience worthwhile.
Yeah.
And those things are happening in Big Walk, but at the same time, you're having like complex conversations about how to solve a puzzle together and trying to coordinate in real time to solve like the Witness level. In some cases, like there were a few puzzles that were like legitimately like these are pretty complicated.
Problem-solving game, and
some of them are really easy. Some of them are as simple as
like prox chat and the limitations of being able to hear people and see people as like the core to its design, which is something very unique that is not happening in friend slap games. But they call them slap because like they blew up in popularity in the mainstream, which means people were like churning them out with like really cheap assets and selling them for really cheap, and that's why they got the fucking slop name. Just like how PewDiePie slop or whatever horrors
because again
slop blew up because of that shit.
Those games don't require like next level puzzle design to be successful, but this game has really impressive puzzle design in an open world with proximity chat with up to, I think, 12 players at the same time, which I think is pretty crazy. I can't even imagine.
There's
But
something to be said. Up 4 is the best like amount of people to like solve a puzzle or whatever. Like after 4, they don't really scale up, right? If you jump in the game with 2 people, the puzzles dynamically adjust, which is very like impressive, right? Already we're punching way
there's a
above
ceiling.
where most friend slap games are at, right? And then like
Yeah.
same with like 3 people. But like I feel like most of the best puzzles you need like around 4 people. That's when you're really starting to.
But above that, what's really cool is that like it becomes less about like, because there were situations where we all ended up together in a room that's a puzzle room. There was only stuff for like 3 or 4 people to do, and the rest kind of had to like watch or like call things out or whatever. But like at that point, the scaling becomes more about like, okay, well, let's split up, and you can go totally different sides of the island, solving different puzzles and collecting things because you're all coming back to the same like hub zone to like return these like trinkets that allow you to unlock the next like
when you're
door
playing
or
with
whatever.
12 people, splitting up seems like a cool idea. With 6 people, honestly, I kind of wish, like, I don't like the fact that like there were cool puzzles that some of y'all solved and I wasn't there, because I
got
know the
FOMO.
puzzle design is really cool, right?
No,
Like
absolutely.
remember the intercom room puzzle where
Dude, that
were
shit was
all,
amazing.
That's so cool. And immediately I was thinking, man, Nolan and Ed didn't get to experience this, and that was such a cool like design, right? Where
There was a moment
a
where
lot of the puzzle designs, you're locked in a room and you have to figure out how to like communicate information, and
Dude, but
it's just so
but the
smart.
most frustrating thing in this game was like doing a puzzle with 6 people where you're like, we have too many people for this.
Can I
Like,
just say the
happens.
puzzle that happened? If you're watching the footage, y'all remember this puzzle, right? My worst nightmare in terms of like anxiety, like communication anxiety, because it became a situation where you had these 2 buildings across from each other. There's a pit in the middle, and the people who are locked inside the puzzle rooms had to communicate the solution to the people across
That's such a good
the
puzzle.
valley. It was so cool, but I somehow accidentally ended up as one of the ones on the outside where people were expecting me to stand at the window. The person tells me the things, and then I have to run over there and yell it across the valley so that Nolan can hear it, and then he has to go pass it back to the people in the room. And I was like, when somebody tells me to remember something, I immediately start to like shut down.
Forget.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, so like Ed's sitting here telling me this, like, okay, it's this, and this, and I'm like, and like as soon as he said it, I was like, fuck, I think I've already forgotten half of it. But I'm trying to tell Nolan, and Nolan's like, what the fuck's going on, bro? And I was like, I don't know, man, I'm sweating over here. This is giving me super anxiety. But we did it. We persevered, and it was amazing. And some of the shit that happened in this one stream that we did makes me think this is going to be very, very close to the top of my game of the year list.
We played it 2 times, and it was awesome both times. And I
was.
really, really want to get back in there. Like people are talking about like the
Brett's
way.
very concerned we're not going to be able to coordinate.
Yeah,
6
well, I'm concerned we're gonna like spread it out too much, and someone's gonna, because we sort of made a pact that we can't play without each other now, because like that's not cool. Like we're all having such a good time. I heard that this game ends like super well. Like it's a very memorable way that they end this game, and I don't know anything about it beyond that. But I mean, I'm like, are we gonna get there?
After
Like,
this podcast, we're going to send a message in the meetings channel to say, hey, when's our next big walk session?
Yeah, we
And
need
we'll
to
start talking about it.
not like fuck up on that. We need to keep pushing it.
And we got to get Chris Davis in there. He was absent, so he's just kind of like listening to us, And the irony of all this is that this is developed by the Untitled
Goose People.
Game. The Goose People.
Which is
Yeah,
like
he was
And now
He's
we're
a
raving
big
about it. And Chris Davis is like,
big supporter of the Goose Game.
No, I think he was on the fence about joining us, honestly, that night. I think we could have talked him into it. We could have bullied him into it, and it would have been, he would have thanked us. Like, I truly believe that. But, like,
this
Chris
game has
Davis
the power to heal.
has a bit of a reputation for bailing on friend slop nights,
But it's not friend
I'm
slop.
not a fan of
well,
friend
sorry,
swap. I'll just go
sorry.
ahead and
Game
say
nights.
it.
Game nights.
But
game
it's
nights.
not friend slop.
Yeah, this is not friend slop.
It's like Portal 2.
This is
not like
friend
Portal.
Kino.
Yeah, it's friend Kino. Kino slop.
The funny thing is that
I did show up for the stream and watch a little bit of
Quality
it.
slop.
Yeah. Dude,
But I also
quality
then
slop.
immediately went to
People are using it. People
You
are
didn't get
calling
to
things
experience the
quality
joys of
slop.
solving
I
these
know.
puzzles together. Also, like, it does, like, really, like, aside from even just beyond the like the basic proximity chat thing, which is I absolutely fucking adore it. But like when you're on like a cliff and you're like talking, you can hear your voice echoing through like the valley, like, and like if you're down in the valley, you can hear other people's conversations like way off in the distance because it's echoing off the walls. Like it's just really cool. But
I'm happy for that.
when Brad was talking about like he's genuinely sad when he thinks about people out there solving cool puzzles that he's not a part of, it just makes me think of there was one point where I ended up somewhere out in the woods alone with Carlos, and we were trying to get back to the group, and we basically just stumbled across what looked like a basketball hoop, and it just turned into us trying to like play basketball in the middle of the forest to get this like puzzle piece. And I was like, this like, so it ranges from like these incredibly simple but addictive little mini games to all the way up to the one that we were doing together with the intercoms where we had to like coordinate and figure out, but like that one was super complex and I don't even know how to explain it verbally.
Monorail and a ski lift and like there's so much cool shit going on in the world.
Dude, the monorail was so disappointing.
When we found that map, I was losing my mind.
Dude, you could walk faster than the monorail. It's crazy.
Nick,
I don't know why
it's a hype. It's a mobile base.
It was perfect for this game because it really encouraged you to just like sit and chill and take it all in.
Yeah,
and this game's constantly inviting you to just like chill and
just vibe the fuck out.
Enjoy the moment and like God, like we talk about how it's
unfolding is so good.
Yeah. How it's like this isn't slop because they worked on it for a long time. They put a lot of care and dedication into it. The world itself, like the characters look like goofy little cartoons, like just a couple of balls stacked on top of each other. But the world itself is genuinely like pretty immersive, beautiful.
It gives me the Witness vibes in terms of just like
it's a chill place. You're like you kind of feel like, oh man, this would be a fun place to hang out with the boys.
It feels like a giant playground. Like it's like there's like biomes, and you find that you're like every 10 feet you're like, ooh, what's this? And it could be a puzzle, or it could be you know, something that leads to something completely unexpected. Like even things that we found, and I still don't quite understand why they exist. But like just the act of finding them and just being like, huh, and like poking at it. And
Crispy, remember when we found the flare gun? We were like, dude, let's just go over here.
Dude,
and we're like, how do we get up there? And we fucking manhandled our way up there, and we found the fucking
and then we
flare gun.
Fell into the back rooms and found a gun, and we're like, this is sick.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it was.
Dude, that's what this game's all about.
That's what the game is all about, man. It's fun.
Big Walk's incredible. I think.
Like it's legitimately like it is near the top of my list.
You're gonna be seeing a lot of footage of this at the end of the year, Chris. This is gonna be on top 10 lists.
All right.
I could genuinely like hear the smiles on everybody's face while we were playing this game. Ed was like, I was like, is Ed drunk? Like he's like
when me and Ed figured out the heavy ball puzzle, it was so sick, dude. The heavy ass ball. We were staring at this heavy ball. We're like, we can't. What do we do? Like for like 10 minutes until finally we just started like, you know, like fire
daisy chaining it, like passing it to each other
it up the hill, and it took so long. But and if we had like 3 more people, it would have gone so much
in the dark,
faster.
No less.
But yeah, it was just me and him in the dark, and we did it, and it was like, sick, dude. We got this. We could have radioed over for help. But nah, we got it.
Man, dude, what a good fucking video game.
Really kind of exceeded my expectations. But like it's only because like over the years that this game's in development, people started treating it like Friend Slop as Friend Slop got more popular. And I think by the time, well, I mean, part of it's like fantasy critic conversations and stuff. It was undervalued. No one expected it to score what it did. And then when it started scoring what it did, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Or is it just because like people respect this dev more? Like I didn't understand why the scores are so high. But as soon as I started playing it, I'm like, oh no, those scores are real. Those are real scores. Like this isn't like they didn't get away tax free or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a special game.
Special. It's special.
I also feel like it has kind of like, in terms of like just like the video game zeitgeist kind of situation, like it has like Among Us energy, because like
Sort of, but like you'd be surprised. Like the stuff that's big is so big that like even this might feel kind of minor in the grand scheme.
if it does end up feeling minor by comparison, it's tragic, because
It's been
like,
successful. Like
I
they already sold a
legitimately think
million
this is-
copies. You know, like
this is the
I'm
most
not-
fun I've had with the multiplayer game outside.
And it-
Like the
yeah.
last one I can think of that I genuinely fell in love with was It Takes Two, but that's a very different kind of game, obviously. But like this just taps into like the joy,
I think
like
this
the
is one of
true
the
joy
best
and magic
co-op
of multiplayer
experiences
games in a way that most games don't.
I've had.
I think.
Yeah, I think this will rank amongst the best co-op experiences you can have playing video games. Yeah.
Yeah, and we decided before the podcast, we decided that we're classifying Portal 2 now as friend slot.
Stop it.
Just
Nope.
The
Nope. Nope.
sloppiest.
Nope.
That is before the
Obvious.
slop
Like
era.
the vibe
No.
of Portal 2 is so different. Like the puzzles you're doing in Portal 2 are like breakneck speed timing. You know, it's like
Yeah,
Twitch
but it's
based, like,
two like dumb, goofy robots doing it, and like
Stop
half the
it.
fun is like accidentally
Guys.
killing each other because you're stupid, dumb robots who are.
I
goofing
feel
around.
like they're gonna continue to update this game and add new shit over
Do you
time.
think?
But like, what if they end up adding like a portal gun? Like,
Why do you hang on? Is that a thing they've said? Like, why do you think they're going to keep updating this?
you think they're just gonna walk away from this and they're not?
No,
gonna,
No,
they've said they
that's the
don't
thing.
know what to do.
this game's done. It's done.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think
it's
they're going to
done.
make
that's
something
what's
else.
why it's so different than the quote unquote friend slop games, because those are games that are designed to be replayed over and over. You know, obviously,
All I'm saying is
usually
I want a
procedurally
jetpack.
generated. Every time you turn on the game, the world is different, right? This is a very like handcrafted
Intentional,
like
yeah.
experience. You play it one time with a group of friends, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like playing this again with like having already experienced the puzzles. Like, there's no
I
fun
mean,
in
if they
that.
put out something, if they put out like a Big Walk 2 or something,
Yeah,
maybe.
you
But
would have
like,
to.
yeah, but like, I think they just make another game now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the game.
Then I
We're gonna play-
stand corrected.
This is why,
I'm-
like,
What?
my son says he wants to play it.
Whatever-
I'm like, well, son, I don't know. I know how to all the puzzles now.
whatever that next game is, like, you know, I'm gonna be there. Like this has really put them on my radar.
Crispy says that, and then it turns out to be Untitled Goose Game 2.
Yeah, if it's Untitled
like,
Goose
fuck,
Game 2,
No, please no.
yeah,
no,
yeah, that might be a little
It's like-
disappointing. But
it's
what
like
if
when Retro
what if
made the
Untitled
Donkey Kong
Goose
games.
Game 2 comes out and then they're like, dog, you're not gonna believe this, but like it's a whole new game, dog. Like Goose
It's
Game
like-
2 has reinvented Untitled Goose Game. Like,
Titled
It has
Geese
reinvented the
Game.
goose. It has reinvented the goose
Yeah.
genre.
like maybe like this game's good enough for them to have earned the benefit of the doubt on the next one from me. Like I genuinely love this and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to finish this game.
So, to everybody listening at home, first of all, if you want to catch the next Big Walk stream with us, I would recommend being in our Discord, discord.gg/4player. That's where we're obviously going to let everybody know when we're going live. But yeah, we might end up doing this on a podcast night. We might do it on the weekend whenever we can make it work. Obviously, we want to get as many of the group together as we possibly can when we play this. But yeah, we had a blast, and it was really great to hang out with Nolan and Ed and Carlos. Yeah, maybe we'll get Chris Davis in there next time. It'll be a lot of fun. All right. From here, I almost feel like it's disappointing for me to follow up Big Walk with something like Mafia: The Old Country, but
Oh.
I do. I did bring footage of this, and I will talk about it briefly, I suppose, because here's the thing about Mafia is if you've played a Mafia game, you kind of know what to expect, right? Like they are very true to a formula, and they don't really deviate a whole lot from that. So, first of all, I mentioned this last week or the week before, whatever, that I was like, I've had like several games on my wish list for a long time that I've really been wanting to go back to, like Chronos The New Dawn, which I finished, by the way, is amazing. Mafia: The Old Country, and Lies of P. All 3 of those games have gone on sale, and I have now added them to our library, just so you know.
Are you playing Mafia because the new DLC came out?
I honestly, no. I mean, it's more of just like, I like Mafia enough. It's like, especially when I'm in like a mood for just like a cinematic kind of experience, and like the stories in Mafia games have always been pretty compelling and good. And
Okay.
so like, and I also like period pieces a lot. Just like,
But
there are
didn't you
times in
play
this game
this
where
last year? I could have
I
sworn
did
you
not.
did.
I did not. That's
We
why I'm
talked about
playing
it
it
a lot for not actually playing it.
Mobster stuff.
I have never played this game. There are times when I'm playing The Old Country, or it feels like a little bit like I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, or maybe maybe the more appropriate comparison would be something like
that's interesting,
Gun.
Nicholas. You know why old spaghetti westerns are called that, right?
I think I would butcher it if I tried to say it. So go ahead. But yes, I think I know what you're alluding to.
Well, yeah, like Sergio Leone shot his Western movies in Italy.
Yeah.
That's why the West kind of looks like Italy, because Italy kind of looks like the West.
Oh shit. Yeah.
There
No.
you
I mean,
go.
it totally makes sense. So this game takes place in 1904, way back in the day, in the Old Country in Italy. And it's yeah, you see what I'm doing there?
There you go.
But it, beyond being like just a period piece, because like obviously like the games they've done in the past have been, I mean, with the exception of Mafia 3, which was kind of a branched off, did its own thing in like a completely different setting, but it was still like contemporary. And now this game is going to Italy in the early 1900s, and but beyond that, like it sticks to the Mafia formula pretty strictly. So it sticks to like the stealth gameplay, the gun gameplay that you're used to in the series. But like, man, the stories they tell in these games are so good. The characters are so well done. But like, I still can't get over just like this. It's this weird genre of like open world games, and for me, the first touch point was like LA Noire. But I think that was just kind of jumping on the Mafia bandwagon a little bit. Like when they do these open worlds, but there's like nothing. It's literally just a meticulously handcrafted open world with nothing to do. It is literally just a backdrop to take you from
But I
between
mean,
a bunch
that's
of
not a
different points on the
feature,
map.
right? That was just
No, I mean-
developers that were trying to like be like GTA. Well, I mean, I guess the first Mafia was its own thing before Grand Theft Auto 3, right? Or they came out at roughly the same time, which is probably why the world wasn't filled with things, because Grand Theft Auto 3 didn't exist that showed people like, no,
True.
you should have a lots of stuff to do in the world.
But like even since
Mafia
then,
never went that direction. Well, whenever everyone else did, right? But
it's
I
not
feel
even
like
everyone else. Like LA Noire did the same thing, and that is that.
yeah, but like LA Noire, when LA Noire came out, that also felt like weird. Like it felt weirdly unique, almost like oh wait, puts nothing in the world. Why is LA Noire also doing that?
LA
Like,
Noire also
it's-
was in development hell for a very, very, very long time.
That is true, and that might have something to do with why it ended up that way. It's just Mafia is kind of this weird like situation where it feels like a very intentional choice. Like they don't really have any interest in populating the world with like side quests and things to do. It's just lending like, because the whole crux of the game is it's like if you're playing a Mafia game, you're here for like a very cinematic like you want the cinematic experience, and it's like, how can we deliver on the cinematic experience without making it feel like you're just playing through a movie? It's like, allow you
Mafia
to drive.
3 tried to put some open world stuff in there, and it just was kind of whack.
Yeah, I mean, Mafia 3 is definitely the one where they tried to actually populate the world with things. It ended up feeling like a really the story was really good, like up to Mafia standards, but like all the stuff they added to it ended up just making it feel like the Ubisoftification of it, and it felt lazy.
In a bad way.
So they've definitely backpedaled back to what it was before, which is just kind of this like really beautiful handcrafted world where there's nothing to do. But there's a big focus on like melee combat in this game in terms of like you're getting into lots of like knife fights, so there's like a parry system and having to like read other people's attacks before they make them. So that stuff's kind of cool, but like outside of that, it's pretty standard stuff in terms of. And I don't mean to say that and make it, because that sounds super negative, but like I was in this and I was looking for this for a very specific reason, and because I definitely just wanted something where I can just sit back and kind of absorb the story, but also, engage with it a little bit, which I think is what Mafia has always done really, really well. And this is
Is
cool.
the story doing anything like fresh or new or inspiring? Or what's going on there? Or is this your standard mobster slop? I mean, it's in Italy.
I don't consider myself to be like. I don't consider myself to be like knowledgeable enough about the genre to like say how much of this feels like
really like
original.
like a Mafia
Dude,
story?
I've still only seen like The Godfather Part 1. I haven't even you know what I mean? Like
that's so
I know
embarrassing.
It's weird.
Have you seen Goodfellas?
Yes.
Wow. Wait, no, you would know. You would know.
No, I have. It's just been it's been a very, very long time. And I honestly I may not have seen the whole thing.
What
I know.
You may not have seen the whole thing.
I mean, I probably saw it such a long time ago, and
his name is Hank Hill.
Really?
Yeah, Henry Hill.
Look. I know. I have some truly outstanding.
You know what though? Like that could be why you can appreciate this game, because you haven't seen the goats.
I mean, the story of this seems pretty interesting. I mean, because like the main character of this particular story is like someone who's being he's basically working as a slave in a mine, and he ends up escaping from that mine and then just kind of like stumbling into this situation where he gets kind of like saved by this family that's this mafia family, and then gets kind of inducted into their lifestyle. But like the bigger story that's kind of starting to take shape has more to do with like he is developing, like he is finding a new life for himself and really trying to embrace this new role he has in this family, while at the same time he's like falling in love with the Don's daughter, which is a big no-no. So like trying to keep that relationship secret while also at the same time juggling your loyalty to the family. I find that stuff pretty interesting, and it's really well acted, it's really well written, but it doesn't strike me as something that I'm sure that's like that's got to be a trope, right? That's got to be something that's happened in like a bunch of these movies. So I don't know.
Wait, what is a trope?
The whole like the main character is like being brought into this family and becoming part of.
Yeah, I think it's like I mean, you played like Yakuza games and stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
there's always an aspect of like following a character who's rising through the ranks of.
But he's falling in love with the Don's daughter.
Yeah.
And that's a big no-no. Like if the Don ever found out, he would probably be in serious trouble. So like the whole thing is like, how can we keep our relationship a secret while you're also trying to rise through the ranks and become part of this family? But obviously against the backdrop of 1904 Italy. Also, there's a volcano. There's a volcano in the background, and I think I'm assuming this feels very much like the gun situation. Like you could see the volcano in the background every time a new chapter starts. You hear this like
you said the gun situation, like Chekhov's volcano.
Chekhov's gun, yes, it's like Chekhov's volcano. Very beginning of the game, you could see like smoke rising from the volcano, but it hasn't erupted. And everyone's like, "Is it gonna blow?" And they're like, "I don't think so."
Oh, dude,
and
that
like,
volcano.
Oh, it's happening.
This is in Sicily, right? This game is in Sicily.
Yeah.
Etna eruption in Sicily halts Catania flights. That volcano just erupted in Sicily in real life.
Oh shit.
Like a day or two ago.
Cool.
Jesus.
That's why I'm playing this game. That's the actual real reason I'm playing this game. Is because I saw that volcano erupt. Anyways,
have you seen The Sopranos?
Because you're a geology fan.
The Sopranos, right?
I have seen the first 2 seasons of The Sopranos. I know, man. I don't. My track record with this particular genre is really spotty, at best. So I'm gonna need y'all.
What, you don't like sweaty Italian guys?
I love sweaty Italian guys. I don't know what it was. Like The Sopranos is something I know I probably need to make sure. It's like the X-Files, man. I need to watch The Sopranos at some point too.
And Star Trek: The Next
stick with it.
Generation.
Yes.
Remember,
That
you
Wait,
said that was on the list.
Don't you like
You said that was on the-
what's the TV show with the Irish fella?
Very
Peaky
descriptive.
Blinders?
Sons of Anarchy.
Peaky Blinders?
Peaky
You talking about
That-
Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I've never seen it. Is that like organized crime stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
incredible. That's
Absolutely.
definitely
And
one
he's
of my
also a
favorite
Sons
shows
of
all time.
Anarchy head. Don't forget
Oh.
that.
Okay, let's be
yeah.
careful there. I've watched Sons of Anarchy. But if you were to ask me-
like you like, I mean, like
It was good. It was good, yeah.
Okay, but when what's your favorite video game of all time?
Red Dead Redemption
Days
2.
Gone. Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Days
okay.
Gone came out. It was like I think you cited, didn't you cite Sons of Anarchy as like, oh, I really
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I
This
mean,
has got
obvious.
some
I mean,
of
there's an
that going,
obvious. There's an obvious touch point there, right?
Boardwalk
That's what I'm
Empire?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Boardwalk
I have
Empire?
seen Boardwalk Empire, and I love Boardwalk Empire.
There you
It's great.
go. Okay.
I'm
Well,
just saying, like,
your tastes are modern.
You're
but,
not-
like,
you're not
Maybe
as-
you haven't
you're
seen
not-
the classics, but
Your organized crime and like mafia movies tastes aren't as greasy, but like they're getting
you
there.
should
there's
watch
definitely
The
some-
Godfather Part 2 and Goodfellas.
there's
so.
some gaps. There's some big gaps
Those
in
are
there.
better.
I've never seen Scarface.
Yeah, I mean Scarface.
Yeah.
Like there are
Scarface
definitely some
is-
big ones in there.
Like you've
Bo-
it sounds like you haven't seen a lot of the classics.
Bognoise says Nick is more of an Ozark guy, and I do like Ozark, but I also haven't finished Ozark. So I like organized crime stories.
Nick is more of an
So-
Ozark guy.
Yeah. I do need to like, and also when I say I've seen The Godfather Part 1, I mean I've seen it for the first time in like the last 2 years. So
Wow. Well, I mean,
and I
The
don't know
Godfather
why I
Part
didn't-
2 is like
I know.
it's not like your average like sequel or whatever. It's
I
like,
honestly
it's
don't
like
know
an
why I didn't
ambitious,
roll
like,
right
it's
into
crazy.
it.
In many ways.
what The Godfather Part 2 is even doing for like a sequel. I mean, did they even have like sequels back then? What the fuck, dude? It was crazy. Like
Yeah,
that's such a good
I'm
movie.
gonna watch
Yeah,
it.
dude,
Like-
they had
like-
sequels back then.
Like The Godfather is one of the best movies ever made. The Godfather Part 2, like
It
on its
insists on
own, is also one of the best movies ever made. And it's like not because The Godfather Part 1 is a great movie. It's like its own great movie.
Honestly, I think the only
made
reason
another
I
great
didn't
movie.
roll right into watching The Godfather Part 2, because I do remember having that kind of same reaction. I finished The Godfather Part 1, I was like, damn, that was really good. And then it popped it because I was watching it on a streaming service, and I was like, here's The Godfather Part 2. And I was like, that's another 3.5 hour commitment. I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah, like Robert De Niro, like the flashback stuff is I mean, whatever. God,
So how
We
is
can
this
move on.
video game?
It's pretty good. I mean, if
It's
you,
a Mafia game.
Here's the thing. If
Mafia
you've played a
style.
Mafia game, like if you want like a really well told story that's well written, well acted against a really beautiful backdrop like this is exactly what it's for. But beyond that, it is not doing anything special. But I am definitely having a good time with it. I'm going to finish it because it is a good story, and I want to see how it all plays out. But yeah, I am kind of surprised after Mafia 3 that this is so kind of like back to basics, but rather than just refining and trying to improve what they did with Mafia 3, they just kind of went back to Mafia 2. But that's okay. It's whatever.
Hey Nick, are we seeing one segment showing this shit?
I
'Cause
mean, we
my-
could.
I don't need to go deep on my game because I'm still really early in it. But I do
Okay.
want to talk about it because we're here podcasting.
I mean, I am sweating my balls off in here, so yeah, I'm all for doing it one segment to show this tonight. Go for it, Brad.
I've been dabbling. Well, I'll explain why. I've been playing a game called Shards of Order, which, not a great title or anything. And like, you might see some footage of this game and immediately write it off or judge it. But I will say, like, it is not what you'd expect. You might see some combat like this and
I
some
see cards.
and think, oh, it's one of these, a deck builder, Slay the Spire like, and all that. And like, yeah, at a glance, that's what you think it is. This is published by the same publisher who did the Tainted Grail games, And
Oh, okay.
the actual like Tainted Grail RPG came out last year, and like, you know, people kind of liked it. It's supposedly good. I don't think anybody here played it. I had been intending to, but I never got around to it. But you know, a few years before that, they did the Tainted Grail like deck builder game, which was I played and was really good. It was like a Slay the Spire, you know, kind of game, but it had good production values and, you know, voice testing and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is actually really good. Good vibes. This is released by that publisher, and that's not surprising because I immediately thought of Tainted Grail Conquest when I started this. Like, it has a very similar energy. That was like a dark Arthurian, like horror sort of. I mean, the world of Tainted Grail is just that, right? This is like it's not literally that, but like even the music is like kind of reminds me of the music from that game. But here's the important part. That was a roguelike. You know, just like Slay the Spire and like so many of these other games. This is not a roguelike. This is a like like player or a single player. This is like an RPG. Like you're just progressing in as a party in a story, like navigating a world. You getting into like scripted encounters, and you know, having events in the world where you're making choices and stuff that have a significant impact on you and your party. But it's just like I mean, I guess you would call it like a CRPG, but the combat is very like deck builder based. It's very Slay the Spire based. I actually I played a game like this a few years ago, where you have like three people in a group and you're drawing cards for all of the party, and you're playing them to, like, you know, win combat. But it was just a RPG where you were like upgrading your characters or cards or whatever and progressing through a world and a story. It was the Steam World, like the Steam World Dig, you know, team or whatever. Whatever that studio is called, you know, SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Heist. They made like a SteamWorld Quest. Yeah, I think it was called SteamWorld Quest, which was just a single player RPG where you were progressing, you know, a party of three characters, and like it was like this where like the decks were like combined, right? You're drawing cards for all of your characters. And it's good. Like, it's refreshing to play like the core mechanics of something like a Slay the Spire are like rock solid, right? Building decks is very fun, but it is nice to like not have to do it like in a roguelike capacity where the stakes are super high and it's easy to die and you're just going to start over and it's just your run's disposable. When I get equipment and stuff in this game, it's like, oh no, this is like a permanent thing that's going to stay with me until I finish this game. Now the outside of combat, which I think I'm going to be in combat here for a couple more minutes. You're kind of exploring a world, and it's kind of node based where you're clicking on nodes and there's either like combat or events or like something's going on. You might come across a door that's locked, so you might have to explore a different part of the world to like find the key to that door, and you might have to go through an encounter or make like a tough decision. Like a big part of this game is like making like, oh, you can only save this person or this person. Well, you got to make a choice, but you know, you're like, whatever happens, like there's going to be some bad consequences at some point, like in some way, right? The vibe that this game's been reminding me a lot of in terms of like the way I'm progressing through the world and the story's progressing and like the big decisions. It reminds me of Witcher Tales, Thronebreaker, which is a really cool game, right? Where in battle you're just playing
I forgot
Gwent.
about that game.
That game was
in battle
sick.
you're playing Gwent, but like between battle you're like
puzzle Gwent.
meeting like cool characters and like
Shit, I should play that game.
it's
It's
really
sick.
good. I think that's like super underrated for like, considering the fact that The Witcher 3 is one of like a top 10 selling game of all time. It's crazy that so many people ignored Thronebreaker, which had a really cool story. But like, it reminds me of that because you're making a lot of like choices, and they're like high stakes choices, and you have to live with your decisions, and that's really cool. I'm still very early in the game. My big problem with the game is that I can't. I can't play it on my Steam Deck. the text is too small. I can only play it on my PC, and I'm never at my PC. That's a real problem. The developers said that they're going to do something about like font sizes and stuff, and really at this point I'm kind of just going to wait until they patch something in so I can actually see the shit on my Steam Deck. Even when I'm wearing my reading glasses, which I use now, I can't see the shit on the Steam Deck. It's too small. It's not really designed for that. But other than that, it's like a really cool game, and I'm like, oh, here's a little bit of the world. There's also like some Disco Elysium inspiration. I definitely see that in like the way
Say no more.
The characters are talking, and you kind of have like there's like I don't know, like not like a narrator, or you sort of have your own inner thoughts. Not like a whole cast of inner thoughts, but like your inner thoughts are sort of like popping up every now and then. And just like the way the dialogue looks on the right side of the screen, it's very disco inspired. But so far, like the writing has been nothing like that sort of thing. Like I think the success of the storytelling will come from like the decision making and the high stakes and stuff, and that stuff feels really cool. Again, it reminds me of Thronebreaker. So I'm excited to play more of this game, and like, I think stuff that feels like Slay the Spire is always going to be like at its core, just like what I was saying about XCOM or like a Souls-like game. You make a solid deck builder with some like fresh class ideas and like deck ideas, then I'm going to have a good time, and a lot of people are going to have a good time. And I've already seen some cool like deck synergy stuff, like the way the characters can play off each other stuff is very good. It's cool. It's like I have a mage character who powers up all your spells by like accruing like mana of different types, and those mana types come from like playing the cards of like the cards of my warrior type character are like adding to the red mana pool of like so the caster can cast their spells. Yeah, it's cool game, and I'm gonna play more as soon as they patch it.
This is
Shards of Order. Shards of Order. It's the very
this
memorable
is totally
title,
unrelated.
So I'm saying it again.
But Brad, just to let you know, I am still creeping along in Final Fantasy Tactics. I played a game last night. I'm still grinding to get over that hump, that wall.
Oh, Riavani's. You're still trying.
Yeah, I'm still trying to like build my team up.
But the grinding you're doing now,
it's gonna make
like you're at the hardest part of the game. Yeah. That and a character that joins your party in chapter 4 is gonna make literally the rest of the game a breeze because he's so overpowered. But yeah. You'll get there. I mean, you just need like auto potion and some good equipment and stuff. You'll get there,
dude. I'm gonna be honest. I think the bard and dancer class kind of like crack the.
So I'll give you a tip. I think the bard's kind of whatever, but the dancer has, I think it's Forbidden Dance, the one that casts negative status effects on the enemy. That thing is very powerful.
And the bard has the opposite. It casts
it casts like re-raise and shit.
Yeah, and haste, regen, and shell, and protect, and like on your entire team every turn.
Yeah, but they're squishy, and you can only bring in so many people. But yeah,
I immediately moved them to the far edges of the map. And
that's sick, man. I'm glad you're leaning into some of like the fringier classes and stuff.
Anyways, I don't need to talk more about it. I just wanted to let you know that I have not forgotten about it.
Please don't give up.
I'm like 45 hours
that game
in.
just to say you've done it, man. You once finished Symphony of the Night.
I did,
and I was like impressed. Don't Link to the Past. Well, that was a dark time. That was a dark.
I guess that's true. Chris Davis, I know you said you wanted to rant. Was that something you wanted to rant about in your 4Player minute, or did you want to bring up footage and rant about something?
I mean, I can show old footage of Granblue.
Whatever you want to do. It's
We're good.
Okay. All right. I just want a few minutes on it because I have opinions, and it's hurting me. I finished the base game. Yes. Here is the problem. The post game.
I forgot the overlay still says mystery game. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. This game has a post game that's designed for just replaying battles and fighting in the same arenas all the time, which is like different modifiers and harder enemies, but you're fighting the same fucking enemies. The game's idea is that, instead of fighting just one of these bosses, you'll fight 2, and then you'll fight 3, and then you'll fight 4. You'll actually have a level 150 version of this boss that you have to beat instead of the level 70. It's just arena battles, but at the same time, they're progressing the story. So it is all about this experience of never being able to matchmake with anyone because no one's ever playing this fucking video game, even though the DLC came out just last month. It is all about queuing up for these arena battles that are just grinding. It is grind fucking city 24 hours a day with this fucking experience.
I was gonna say, you don't have to do the post game, but you're saying the post game has story in it, and I'm assuming you want to see the story.
Well, that's the thing, is that like the DLC, the $30 DLC is not new levels. All of the story is contained in this same grinding, play out these same fucking areas against some new bosses, and you'll get some cutscenes every now and then, but it is just end game the hardest shit possible, and it fucking kills me. I rage quit this game.
YouTube was made for. This is what YouTube was made for.
It is fucking absurd. The power curve going from the base game to the end game to the DLC is an exponential curve that you have to master, even though the game gives you like 20 different characters in the base game alone for you to unlock and experiment with and play with. It is the worst grind I have played this century. It is absurd.
Damn.
It pissed me off so much. There are bosses in this game in which they are required to get through to get to the next unlocked list of arena boss fights to do, and the next 30-second little dialogue cutscene that progresses the story, in which you're given an hour to beat the boss, okay? But in the last 15% of its health, it goes into a doomsday charge-up sequence that is 30 to 45 seconds long, and you have to defeat its last 15% of health inside that amount of time, or you instantly lose. Instantly. Oh. And you have to do it.
Can it really take you upwards of an hour to beat one boss?
Well, no. They give you that timer, but it's that timer. But for me, in my experience, when I was playing it, because I couldn't matchmake with anyone because no one's fucking playing it, even though it's designed for fucking co-op, it would take me 15...
the game came out 2 fucking years ago.
Yeah, but the DLC just came out, and people were really excited for it. So that's why I was playing it.
Ooh.
There were dozens of them.
People.
Yeah, they were playing. There. They're playing, but like, when did that DLC come out?
Came out like July 9th. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
so like,
with this boss fight, it takes you 15 minutes to get to the point in which it starts doing that, and then you instantly lose because you can't put enough damage into him in 45 seconds, and then you have to restart the entire fucking thing all over again. I probably fought that boss 15 to 20 times. And
God, dude,
it's just the most absurd, piss me off stuff.
You could have been playing Big Walk.
I could have been playing Big Walk. But like, the thing is that I really like the base experience of this game. The actual levels and the story you go through and those boss fights and those events are fucking fun.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You've seen that now.
I have. That's the problem. But I spent $30 expecting more of that, and I didn't get more of that.
It's still so weird you bought that. You're even playing this game that you bought the DLC. It's so weird.
Because I
don't think you could say another game that's weirder.
I mean, it's a bait and switch fucking DLC experience. I expected more levels. I did not expect it to be an in-game fucking grind fest that takes you 4 fucking ever.
Farrakhan in chat said it straight up. Like, It's Diablo mixed with Monster Hunter. Dude, I heard about this game from like Monster Hunter peeps, okay? So like
those sickos.
Yeah, those are games that are all about grinding. That's not your shit, so of course it doesn't appeal to you. But the people who are into like the grind, they love games that have a grind.
This is a grinder's RPG.
Do you know what makes Monster Hunter fans sad? When it's too easy to get the shit you want.
I'm not asking for something that's easy to get. I'm asking to be able to get it, period. Like the random drops and grinds are fucking absurd. The amount of materials and currencies that are required to upgrade your weapon to be even possibly withstand or beat some enemies in the end game are absurd. There's like 4 different levels of weapon unlocking that all have to be grinded. You cannot purchase some of these items, so it's just down to random fucking luck and how much damage you can put into them, and maybe it can get to a certain condition.
He wouldn't get it. Like
maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. But I really like the base combat experience, and that's what really got it to me. I really like the base level experience and what they were getting you doing on your fucking journey. It's just everything that's in game is designed to infuriate me.
You know someone? Did someone pitch this game to you?
No.
Take me back.
What's the origin story of you purchasing?
Why did you decide I'm gonna play Granblue Fantasy Relink?
It goes back to when we were talking about it years ago, and we knew that Platinum was making the DLC was making the combat system.
Okay, I remember myself being a little excited about it, but like you weren't chiming in, going, "Ooh."
I was.
I don't think you're playing Eternal. Are you
Sonata.
A Platinum guy?
I've always liked Platinum. I just don't play their games very often.
You are a
move on.
I am a strange man.
Enigma,
okay,
you are a unique,
mystery,
strange man, and that is totally fine. That's what we love about you.
That's fine.
Don't ever change.
And so
don't ever change.
To heal from this experience, I started a second playthrough. I restarted my second playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm in Act 2 and I'm working through that.
Okay.
See, like healthy choices. That makes sense.
Healthy choices.
Yeah.
Well, but also, reminder, you could have been playing Big Walk.
Yeah,
I mean, I
whatever.
could,
He's playing Baldur's
but I feel
Gate like a game that's very replayable and one of the best ever made.
And one I should finish someday.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. You need to finish Baldur's Gate. You need to get to Act 3 and actually do what's going on.
Yeah. I really should.
It's
all right,
impossible,
guys.
though. It's not possible.
Let's wrap it up with the 4-player minute. Our final thoughts for the week, whatever those may be. Brad, start us off.
I don't know, man. I got nothing. Let's come back to me.
All right, Crispy.
I don't know, man. I got nothing.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Okay. I don't really have much, but I will use my 4-player minute to say that I thought it was very funny that the Bethesda union inflated a giant rat in the front lawn of Bethesda headquarters.
His name's Scabby.
When what's her face?
Asha Sharma
came to visit.
Oh, fucking! She played through Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, and kind of teased the title of it. But yeah, the union put a giant rat on the front lawn, and then had a big thing where they put flags on the front lawn, red flags for every developer that was laid off.
Dang, that's the kind of energy we need.
I guess, yeah, but I mean, we need to go a little farther. But yeah, it's don't let them forget.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Bethesda fan, but like, hey man, unions are cool. I'm with you.
Unions are cool. All right, Chris Davis, your final thoughts?
My final thought is I'm just in comfort food mode right now with Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just biding my time until we get the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2, and then and Plague Tale.
I was about to say, like, what a unique individual you are.
What?
Love it.
I'm waiting to play a game I've already played I'm biding my time to.
I really like Metal Gear
biding
Solid
my
4
time.
though, and I haven't played it in 20 years. So
I do understand. I do get that sentiment. I haven't played it since it came out, basically.
on the PlayStation 3. So
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Where it's trash.
I'm really looking forward to Plague Tale right now. I'm going back and forth on playing through Requiem again because that story is so fucking good. What they do
Dude,
there,
Requiem's very good.
the escalation they do is so fucking cool. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my final thought.
Sweet. Brad, your turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me. How about I make mine about Fantasy Critic? Woo.
Ooh.
I mean, there's definitely been some developments in our league. I mean, people have filled up their rosters. Crispy's full. I'm full. Ed's full. I think
So full for you.
Nick's got one slot left. Chris Davis is almost full. I mean,
We're getting there.
I think Chris Davis is. I mean, I think it's gonna come down to Chris Davis and Crispy, and I don't want to talk about Gears of War, but like that might be the deciding factor.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck.
And Duskbloods.
gotta
Duskbloods
suck.
might get delayed. We still Duskbloods is like we don't know. There's a beta. Did y'all get into the beta? I got into the beta.
You got into the beta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I applied for
Oh,
the
I
beta and I
didn't.
got into it.
I didn't sign up.
Oh, well, I signed
No.
up. What are y'all doing?
I don't know.
Aren't y'all curious?
I'm
I'm
watching the
so
X-Files.
curious about what
I just completely
Duskbloods
missed
is.
it. I missed the whole is it too late?
I think it's too late, yeah. But it hasn't started yet. But it's gonna be crazy once that people start talking about Duskbloods. Is it still coming out this year? That's the big question.
I mean,
Carlos picked up a couple games: Blood of Dawnwalker and Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival. We'll see. Seems very Carlos.
Okay.
Taking some chances.
Has potential.
That's Carlos.
Has potential. Yeah. Other than that, all the sicko leagues are getting crazy. Royale this quarter is nuts. And Super League. It's crazy that like I think what's going to keep me out of the championship next year, the championship league again next year. I mean, I think I'm going to relegate, and it's all because of Star Fox. And because I countered Control. And I think Control is going to be like, at this point, I'm convinced it'll be like the best scoring game of the year. That's how much doomer I'm being about it. It's like my other two counters are perfect. I countered Control and I killed myself. Why did I do that? I was so convinced that it was going to get delayed. Like, what the fuck? I countered it in January. Control Resonant was announced, revealed in December of last year. And it's a Remedy game. Of course I thought it had a good chance of getting delayed. I countered it the month after it was fucking announced. What the shit, man? I can't believe it was December. Like December 12th of last year, 2025, they announced Control Resonant. And I know, it had been in development or whatever, a poorly kept secret, but like, what the fuck, man?
It's almost upon us.
What is full production? Like, Remedy said themselves that full production began in 2025. Like, all video games take like half a decade to release. Alan Wake 2, I feel like, wasn't even that long ago. They made that multiplayer shooter game that no one liked. That came out literally last year. I was like, if any game's going to get delayed, it's going to be Control, right? Right? Of all the things that are coming out for the rest of the year, obviously not counting GTA, and you had to pick like in January, that's probably not going to make it. Control. It was a good bet, right? It's going to fucking kill me. It's going to kill me. It's going to be like a 92. People they already fucking like circle jerk about Remedy like they can do no wrong, even though those games are fucking
Careful.
Well, stories are so good. Oh, there's live action television on the television. Whatever, dude. Like, fuck
Shut up,
you.
Brett. You're a bitch.
It's overglazed. It's overglazed.
You're just upset.
They're still bad shooters.
If it's overglazed,
Shut the
why don't you
fuck
go ahead
up.
and counterpick it in our league?
Yeah.
First of all, I've
put your
already
money where your mouth
made
is.
my counter picks.
That's true. Keep forgetting
yeah.
about that.
I can't believe this is Star Fox. Star Fox is what fucked me, but other than that, I've been doing amazing. But fuck me, I guess.
All right. My final thought this week. I'm gonna go ahead and just talk a little bit about my experience with Chronos: The New Dawn. I finished it, wrapped it up, and I gotta say, guys, I loved it. I fucking loved every second.
Can you say? Can you say, Brad? Thank you.
Yes.
You knew.
I can say.
I want to be clear. I don't give a shit about Chronos, but I know Nick Slop when I see Nick Slop, and God damn it, it was Nick Slop.
I feel like I'm gonna come at this game with the same energy I brought to Days Gone. Like, it is wildly underrated. I think it's easily Bloober's best game outside of Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's completely original, and I'm very, very excited for the DLC that's coming out later this year. And I'm really hoping that DLC is substantial and that it's of the same quality as the base game. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, if that's good, I'm gonna totally cheat on my top 10. I'm gonna put it on my top 10. So be prepared.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, guys. We've reached the end of our show. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, if you're not in our Discord, join us at discord.gg/4player. We'll let everybody know when we are going to do our next Big Walk stream together. And like I said, guys, we're going to start that conversation tonight so we can get the ball rolling on it and figure that out. So stay tuned. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure if it'll be a podcast week next week or a Big Walk stream next week. We'll see. It's going to be kind of hinge upon how much there is to talk about. August is kind of a slower month, I suppose, but we're kind of like leading into September where we're just going to get rained on by, constant fucking releases. So we'll let everybody know what the plan is next week. But for now, you can find all of our episodes on 4playernetwork.com or on your preferred podcast service. And we'll be back next week. In the meantime, be good to each other, play video games, and good night.